What's up, guys? Buckle up because you're about to enjoy an excellent Snaps game preview where we tell you everything you need to know about this weekend's game and probably some stuff that you didn't. Enjoy. Mizzou at Alabama. And we'll talk about the game. I think the game's actually pretty obvious here. But think about, I want everybody to take a step back and really try to put yourself in Kalen DeBoer's shoes right now. I cannot fathom being Kalen DeBoer. This last month has to be one of the most confounding of his entire life. Like, he gets this job back in January, February, whenever it was. And he's under unbelievable pressure. You know, players are leaving. Ryan Williams is decommitting, all this sort of stuff. He holds the team together. Then he gets the number one. He starts to build the number one recruiting class in the entire country, which they still have, right? And so all of a sudden, people are like, oh, wait, he's going to do it. Like, he's going to pick up right where Nick Saban left off. And so this whole offseason was an ascent of I believe. And then it culminates in the Georgia win. And it's like, holy shit, dude. If Bama fans have got to be feeling like we're here to stay. You thought we were dead. We're not going anywhere. And in the 3 weeks since then, it has been shattered. Like, it's not just gone down. The mystique of Alabama has been shattered. You lost 2 and damn near lost 3. And all of a sudden, Bama fans are having to wrestle with the fact that, oh, wait, we're still awesome, but we're not singular anymore. We're like these other contenders. You know, we're in the fight, and it's very real that maybe we don't make it. And that is wild after 16 years of sustained national championship dominance. And I can't imagine how it feels to be Kalen DeBoer going from that Georgia climax to now the past 3 weeks and everything you're hearing about yourself.
Let's just strip away the A for a second and look at this football team for who they are this year. Where are they playing elite caliber football at the moment? This
right
entire
now,
season. Besides Ryan Williams, I think the running game has been average. I think the offensive line play has been good. I think Jalen has far been under expectations this year. I mean, the game last week versus Tennessee was so erratic with the football. He looks banged up.
So I was going to ask.
I was watching the game. I was like, this guy cannot be healthy because the throwing was as bad as I've seen it this year. There wasn't the burst that I'm used to seeing from him. They didn't run him as much either. I'm hoping that it's because he was banged up, because he looked like a shell of himself.
Well, and it's what you talked about, Aaron, where like you watch the South Florida game. Well, that was obvious. The O-line was god awful.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like, okay.
But they had backups. But yes.
No, I agree. But I'm saying in explaining why Jalen Milroe is struggling, like that felt obvious. So your opinion is now you think that maybe he's playing hurt?
I think he's banged up.
Okay.
I mean, I watched the game live, and then I watched the coach's tape, and I'm watching him move, and I'm watching him throw, and I'm watching him run, and I'm like, this looks like a shell of the quarterback that I saw versus Georgia in that football game 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
A shell of the quarterback. I'm like, and I don't think it's a confidence thing. I truly believe that there could be something physically wrong with him. He did not look fast versus Tennessee, and Tennessee's defense is good, and I get that was in Knoxville, and that team was swarming, but Jalen made Georgia's defense look slow. You remember I said that watching the game? I told you, Georgia looked slow as shit.
Yeah.
And that Jalen would run at defenders. He would run at Malachi and then run around Malachi like Malachi was a high school football player. I mean, he was on a different level. All of a sudden, Tennessee guys were hawking him down. I'm like, you don't see that much. So I don't know, man. I think he's a little dinged up.
Yeah, that would be as good interpretation as any, because I don't understand how he looks. What about this? I think this is definitely an element as well, and this is something that we knew entering this season. William Anthony says in the chat, he says, I'm not seeing the separation Bama's wide receivers normally got under Saban. The lack of weapons. I mean, there's only Ryan Williams. And I know Aaron's raising his hand for the audio listeners. He's been saying this all year.
I've been saying it all year. All these Alabama fans are on my ass about this, but it is Ryan Williams. That is it.
Yeah.
That is it. And it was no one last year. It was no one the year before. You get Ryan Williams. Congratulations. Thank God he he decided to early enroll and forego his senior season.
Well, good for him as well, because otherwise he'd be at Auburn. And he was thinking about
I get it, 100%. Like, good for him. But I'm just saying, like, what if this kid decided to stay for his senior year of high school? How bad would this offense be? They do not have playmakers on the outside besides Ryan Williams. And the running game is not kind of going either, besides Jalen when he gets his legs going. So
that's what I'm kind of disappointed in.
I am too.
Knowing Kalen DeBoer's system and being like, okay, he's very good offensive coach. Where am I strong? Where am I not? I'm surprised that they don't run jam and justice more and try to lean on that more.
I think they have to this game. I mean,
they become very Jalen centric, and I think his body's breaking down because of it.
I agree. I think this is a game where jam and justice have to put the team on their back and just say, because when they do commit, it's like Georgia last week. Like, when they do commit to the run, they can bully people, and for some reason they get away from it at times and want to spread you out. And I guess maybe Jalen's a little bit more comfortable in that system. But I think this is a game where you shorten it up, you run at Missouri, you try and beat them up, and then you just you play old school Alabama football.
So Zach in the chat hits a question that I actually just wrote down on my paper next to me, which is how much of this is Ryan Grubb? Because that was DeBoer's like brother in arms. They were tight, and they knew each other. I mean, he took pay cuts to keep Grubb around. They knew each other inside and out. I know Hester talked about this a lot in the offseason. He was very intrigued to see what DeBoer would look like without Grubb.
But he doesn't have the same. He doesn't have the same players that he did at Washington.
I guess you're also missing 3 NFL receivers.
You're missing 3 NFL receivers, and you're missing a quarterback that is a passer. Penix is a passer. Jalen was hoping that he would develop like that, and I saw signs of the development early on the season. It has regressed significantly over the past couple weeks.
People keep saying 3 years of Milrose starting. Is that true? I know he started a couple games 3 years ago, right? But this is only the second year starting.
Second year. You remember he was in the quarterback battle?
No, I remember. I remember. I'm just making sure.
2022, and then he had 53 pass attempts and 31 rushes.
It's still his second year, but whatever. I mean, I don't. It's tough. He seems to be going through it right now. Okay, but let's talk about the game then. That's kind of a state of the union in Alabama. I think Alabama's going to win. I don't think Mizzou's good, dude.
I don't either, but I think Alabama's DBs are some of the worst in the conference.
Bro, Mizzou can't throw, though. Watch that A&M film, and maybe that's me seeing them at their worst. So that's, bad on me.
Their worst.
But their worst was pretty fucking god-awful. And now they're going to be on the road in Bryant-Denny.
I'm telling you, I am flabbergasted with how bad Alabama's DBs are. I mean, Nico, if I was at Tennessee last week playing quarterback right now at 33 years old, I would have thrown for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. Guys are wide open. It's been like that the entire season. These DBs are tripping over themselves. If you run at them, they stutter their feet and they just fall over. It is some of the worst.
You're talking about Alabama?
I'm talking about Alabama. Watch it. They were falling over each other. Guys were running wide open. Nico either didn't see them, and then obviously, as we all talked about, he was overthrowing them by 4 or 5 yards. They are that bad. So can it finally come together for Brady Cook, who somehow got some magical juice in the hospital a week ago, came back and led his team to victory because they still got dudes. They still got Theo. They got Luther. They got Mookie. They got some good tight ends. I'm telling you, this Alabama defensive backfield is so bad.
But why hasn't it clicked? Why hasn't it clicked yet? I mean,
I don't know. It's weird.
Brady Cook's played Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College, Vandy, A&M, Massachusetts, and Auburn, and has awful stats.
I know.
And against Auburn, he would drop back and just look completely confused. When he would throw the ball, they weren't pretty. They were kind of duckish.
I know.
Like it.
I don't think this is the game where it's going to magically come out being on the road. So I'm with you. I'm just saying that, like, if there is any sort of, I'm a Missouri fan, we can win this football game. How are we going to do it? There's 2 keys. One, if Jalen's banged up or not banged up, if you limit him running the football, we've seen he's still not a great passer, and he is their offense at the moment. So I would still give up a couple of explosive plays to Ryan to know that I'm going to force Jalen to be a passer and not a runner, because then I think that's a huge advantage for Missouri defensively. Then offensively, can you actually hit a couple shots? I mean, going back to A&M game, they had the one penalty that cost them the one long one to Luther in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Not
they had
saying
the
that would have changed the
75-yard
game.
touchdown.
I mean, A&M played out of their mind that day, but you
Also,
have to take some shots against this defensive back.
that was not a hard throw. I mean, Luther Burden did not
No, I
have
know.
anybody within 15 yards of
But
him.
Nico also didn't have guys within 10 yards of some of his receivers a week ago. I mean, that is how open you can get against these Alabama's defensive backs. So you have to hit your shots. You got to hit your shots.
I mean, it is a golden ticket opportunity for Mizzou.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have been very unconvincing, but they sit here with only one loss, right? Like the world is still their oyster. They got a friendly schedule. You find a way to win this, you're back. Like you are so fully back. But if you're telling me, yeah, it's easy, right? Or no?
No, it's this is their finishing. This is their schedule finishing off. Oklahoma, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Arkansas.
Oh, okay. That's a little harder than I would have thought at the beginning of the year. That felt easier coming in, I'd say, actually.
Why? Because of South Carolina?
Well, yes. Oklahoma's garbage. That's fine. But also Arkansas. I still think Arkansas is kind of frisky.
I think
Arkansas
is very frisky. I agree. And it's a rivalry game. I like Arkansas a lot. Mississippi State's got their shit together too right now on offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even Mississippi State's at least trending in the right direction. Yeah. So that's not as easy as I would have thought, especially not because Mizzou's looked fallible.
But if you go into Tuscaloosa and win, I think you start feeling like, okay, this
that's
team
true.
can do it.
That's true. I would say, though, I'm not going to overthink it. Jalen Milroe's been bad. Brady Cook's been bad. Both are maybe somewhat injured. I'll still take an injured bad Milroe over an injured bad Cook, especially in Bryant-Denny. Give me Alabama.
Yeah. Alabama, just run the damn ball. Just run the damn football. I think that's all they got to do. Just run the football. That you win.
Now you sound like the Alabama message boards just come to life.
Yeah,
they've been saying that for years. Didn't they used to always say that under?
Yeah, but then I guarantee, I guarantee you, if Alabama wins this game, 17-10, fans will be bitching that it wasn't sexy enough. So
I'm laughing. I mean, no, that's just fans. That's college football message boards are the fucking best.
Awesome.
Oh, well, I'd say that was informative and fun. If you agree, please hit the like button, sub, and we'll see you next time for some more snaps.